Do your job. Get your act together. He needs to do something. He needs to help protect the people and get these people off the street.
America, that woman just buried her daughter because Virginia's Commonwealth attorney, whose own website, by the way, says he will limit immigration consequences whenever possible. Drop charge after charge on a man with 40 prior arrests. And the governor who inherited all this mess, her response on day one in office was to sign an executive order blocking ICE from doing their job everyone failed to do.
ICE is empowered by federal law to detain illegal aliens, and state officials like Spanberger are required to honor ICE detainers. Only a month into being governor, and she's protecting illegal alien murderers.
Required to honor ICE detainers, while Spanberger is fighting a legal battle to protect a murder suspect from federal agents. A 19-year-old immigrant in a Fairfax County high school was groping girls in the hallway all year. Same county, same policies, same results.
And then you get a moderate Democrat, quote unquote, like Abigail Spanberger, who runs, wins, and then governs like Zoran Mamdani in the first 3 months.
What is up, guys? Tyson, DeLaCruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. 3 months in, Virginia went from working with Trump to governing like New York City socialists. Let me show you guys exactly how this looks on the ground. Let me explain what we're dubbing the Spanberger strategy here, because it's clever in a deeply dishonest way. She's not openly saying she supports illegal immigrants who murder people. What she's doing here is demanding that ICE obtain a judicial warrant before she'll allow her sheriff's office to cooperate with immigration holds. But there is one absolute problem. The warrant doesn't exist. Former ICE acting director, somebody who actually ran the agency, just explained that there is no mechanism to go to an Article 3 judge and request an immigration warrant. It doesn't exist in immigration law. So Miss Spanberger, the Spanberger strategy, is demanding something that can't legally be provided here, knowing that it cannot be provided, and then using that impossibility to block deportations. That is not a policy position. That is a David Copperfield magic trick. Criminal illegals in the community, her own legal community, is saying this out loud. A man who ran ICE just diagnosed her strategy on live TV. She's not confused about the law here. She's using the law as cover, and the person paying for the strategy isn't Spanberger. It's Cheryl Minter, who doesn't have a daughter anymore. Now, let me explain what actually happened to Stephanie Minter, because the policy failure here has so many layers that it would make your head explode. We dropped the charges, not reduced them, not pled down, dropped them. Fair police are begging prosecutors to actually do their job, but that's how far this has gone. Cops begging. That's what Virginia law enforcement is reduced to. You make the arrest, you build the case, you present it to the DA, and then the DA drops it because of some philosophical comment written into their campaign website. The website literally says he will make decisions that not limit or avoid immigration consequences whenever possible. He put it in writing. He advertised it. He ran on it. People in the country illegally from legal consequences of violent crimes. A woman, and again, under that policy. And Sharon Minter is waiting for somebody to answer for it.
Have you heard from Governor Spanberger? She was, recently elected.
I have not heard from anyone, actually, just news people and the detective.
The governor has time for executive orders protecting murders, but not for the mother of the victim. Not a phone call, not a letter, you guys, not a staffer. Cheryl Minter buried her daughter, and the governor of Virginia couldn't find 5 minutes to give her a call. But miraculously, she found time on day one to sign an executive order, making it harder for ICE to deport the kind of person who killed her. Israel Flores Ortiz from El Salvador crossed the southern border in 2024 under Biden's catch and release policies. You guys, 9 counts, 11th grade, all year. The school knew, and they kept it quiet all year. Nobody stopped it. A mother driving to court twice because the school minimized what happened to her daughter here. Now, here's the aftermath nobody's talking about. 4 days later, ICE issued a detainer for Ortiz. The Fairfax County sheriff is not honoring it. The same county where Jalloh, you remember him, was released 40 times, a county where people are running policies to protect illegal immigrants from immigration consequences, and the prosecutor from the office of Grieving County. Here's where Virginia Democrats took the story from tragic to infuriating. In the middle of all of this, passing more protection for criminals while a murder victim's mother is giving press interviews. The timing isn't accidental here, guys. It is a statement. They saw exactly what Jalloh did. They heard the mother's message. They watched the Fairfax school story break, and their response was to pass legislation preventing ICE from making arrests within 40 feet of a voting location, as if carve-outs of polling places is what citizens of Virginia are asking for now.
That I would suggest there's no such thing as a moderate Democrat in this environment. They pretty much all are in a Zohran Mamdani category, with the exception of maybe Senator Fetterman. So it is a very, very jarring turn of events for the state of, or the Commonwealth of Virginia.
Jarring. That's a Republican being absolutely polite here of what's actually happening. Josh Holmes lives in Virginia. He's watching this happen in his own state, and his diplomatic word is jarring. My word here is calculated. Spanberger ran as a moderate CIA analyst who worked across the aisles. She won on that identity. And the first thing she did was implement the exact same sanctuary policies that exist in Chicago, they exist in Seattle, they exist in New York, because that's not moderation.
Tell us about your daughter. What kind of person was she like?
She was amazing. She had lots of struggles, but she always fought through them, battled through them, always with a smile on her face, and always gave it the best that she could, and looked to her Bible, looked for the word, and tried to follow it the best she could. And that's all any of us humans can do.
A mother describing her daughter's faith and resilience while the system that failed her is writing laws to protect the next person who does this. A woman who looked at her Bible and gave it the best she could. That, my friends, is who got stabbed at a bus stop. That's who Steve Descano failed 40 times. That's who Abigail Spanberger hasn't called. And that's who Virginia Democrats apparently had no time to think about when they were drafting anti-ICE legislation the same week that she was buried. America, Cheryl Minter gave every politician in Virginia exactly 3 words. Do your job. Not a policy brief, not a legislation agenda. 3 words. Steve Descano had 40 chances to keep Abdul Jalloh off the streets, and the Fairfax County Sheriff is ignoring the ICE detainer for a man charged with groping a dozen teenage girls. Spanberger signed an executive order demanding a warrant that immigration law says can't exist. And here's what's coming and nobody's saying. Those anti-ICE bills are now sitting on Spanberger's desk. If she signs them, Jalloh's case becomes a legal template for why Virginia can't cooperate with federal immigration enforcement. Every future prosecutor who wants to drop charges has more cover. Every sheriff who ignores a detainer has more protection. Cheryl Minter is watching, and she's not the only one. This is the same playbook that produced Chicago's crime statistics, Seattle's drug crisis, and New York's revolving door. Virginia just bought the franchise. Let me know what you think about this. Drop it down in the comment section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.